What's going on, guys? My name is Aldeniro and welcome to episode 20 of my Leicester City career mode. We're starting this episode off with a very difficult game, our most difficult game of the season so far, although the season is only 2 games old at this point. We're playing against Manchester United at Old Trafford, and this is always going to be an absolutely ridiculous fixture, although last season we did manage to grab a point from this fixture where we pretty much robbed Manchester United of 2 points in that game. They were all over us for the entirety of the game and we managed to just get a draw, but our team is looking good now, and I've got us playing in a philosophy that I think suits my style of play very, very well. So we've got Gale and Sinclair acting as the strikers at this point, but Sinclair is playing as a centre forward, and Zaha comes through on goal after just 3 minutes and forces a save from Lingard in the Manchester United goal. From the resulting corner kick, we did manage to retain possession and attempt to make another chance to open up the United defence, with Gary Gardner's shot in the 7th minute being deflected wide once again for yet another corner. And I decided to just take the game to United at this point because I've been playing pretty well recently. We had a good result against Fulham, we were very unlucky against Hull, and I seem to have gotten the grasp of playing the game itself. Not only that, but I think the signings that I've made actually helped me to play the style that I want to play, and I think that was what was missing, and it's actually given me a huge sort of motivation boost for the season, because at the end of last season we were playing alright. I was getting to grips with the game and things of that nature, but just beforehand I was really worried with the state of my actual ability to play the game. But as you see here, in the 13th minute, Man United comfortably passing the ball around on the edge of our box as we attempt to defend and crowd out the players and mark everybody to stop them from getting in. But Raphael, with a really nice bit of skill there, plays the ball into Javier Hernandez, who scores with his left foot for Manchester United. He's returned from Real Madrid wearing the number 9 jersey, as Falcao has left Man United and gone to Real Madrid actually for about 67 million, I think, in this save. But Marwan Fellaini came close in the 18th minute, but his shot went just wide. And 18 minutes after that, we come up to the 36th minute with Michael Carrick playing the ball into Darren Fletcher, who finds Carrick again, and Hamsik plays it into Darren Fletcher, and some very nice play from the Manchester United midfielders, creating a chance that we subsequently managed to clear, thankfully. But in the 43rd minute, we managed a counter-attack as Dwight Gale picks the ball up just inside our own half and attempts to tear into Man United's half. I was going to go for the overlap, but I saw Sinclair making a great run, and he gets around Phil Jones expertly with the turn before attempting to fire across the face of goal into the far corner, but unfortunately the goalkeeper got a save, and Scott Sinclair knows that should have been a goal. But Albrighton comes across a swing in the corner, and Scott Sinclair goes up, remedies his error from earlier, and equalises for us against Man United at Old Trafford in an absolutely amazing turn of events. I thought that would be our last chance, the one just before that, but thankfully we did manage to get something from the corner, which doesn't happen an awful lot. But in the 54th minute, Dwight Gale comes into the box and probably could have done better with that chance, but at least he made the goalkeeper work for it. And then 3 minutes later, we had to make a substitution, taking off Danny Simpson, who was injured, and Jack Grealish came on because I had no substitute fullback, and I decided to play Albrighton at right back, which may seem like a strange move, but that's what happened nonetheless. And up here in the 72nd minute, we're attempting to get another goal from this game. Zaha's shot forcing a save, and then Jack Grealish picked up an injury, so it was just a logistical nightmare for us in this game with the injuries that just completely sort of ravaged their attempts at getting forward. But a Man United cross in the 80th minute finds a header from Juan Mata going just wide, and then an awful throw out from Kasper Schmeichel falls to Mata, who plays it into Rooney. And have a look at Liam Moore here and where he's positioned, and look at that for an absolutely incredible block. I love timing those correctly. I love it when I get it right. It feels so rewarding, and it was rewarding because our reward was a point at Old Trafford for the 2nd consecutive season. I'm unbeaten at Old Trafford. That's pretty good, I have to say. But looking at these match facts, you can see that we properly took the game to United. Like, we did not fuck around. I think injuries stood in our way. I don't really think I had enough firepower to actually get another goal in the game, but it's a great result nonetheless. It doesn't really matter, you know. Losing against Hull was a shame. Beating Fulham was great, and now beating United was great. But we find that Jack Grealish is going to miss 4 weeks with an injury, and Danny Simpson is going to miss 3 weeks. So that is a shame. Thankfully, we do have cover for both players, though, because of my expert transfer negotiation ability. I don't know, but I made a bid for this guy here, Haisaj, I don't know how you pronounce his name, but he's a left back, and I thought maybe I could get him at a fair price. And then I made a bid for this guy Shinalia, who in the last episode, I actually offered to get him in on loan, and I accidentally set the future price to 0, and they weren't going to go for that, so I had to set no future price. I thought that's what I was doing in the first place. But Empoli do not want to negotiate over this left back, so I offered 1.2 million, expecting them to at least give me a price, you know, give me a figure, and then I can work towards it and figure out if that's what I want to do or whatever. And then I made an inquiry about this player, Hadara, from Newcastle United. He's a left back. Just because I thought left back is one of those positions that Bakayogo's good. I really like Bakayogo, but he's rated 62. He's not going to be able to do it against the big teams. That surely has to be a fact. Like, you know, I think we can improve on him, and that's how you get better in the game. So I saw this guy, Abner, from Real Madrid. He's a Brazilian left back, and his stats look really good, and he's only on $7,000 a week. So I made a bid to get him in on loan, and I thought, along with him, Salva Ruiz and Bakayogo, we've got the makings of a good fullback in there somewhere, you know. But we get him, we get Chinaglia as well. Both of those players come and join us on loan, and I don't think it's unrealistic to get loan signings of teenagers from big clubs, because look at Leicester in real life. They've got Nick Powell at their team. A lot of Premier League teams do it all the time, but these are Abner's stats, and I think he looks very good. He's obviously fast. On top of that as well, like, strength isn't so good, but his aggression was alright, and I think he's going to be a good player. This guy Chinaglia is only 64 rated, but I think there's room for him. Like, the fact that he has pace and finishing in the green stats and he's only 18, I think that's a good sign. But then we found out that AZ Alkmaar had made a bid of 2.9 million for Heissaj, and they've accepted it. And I was like, you fucking cunts. All you had to do was come back to me with a figure and I would have risen to it, you know? Or at least found a way to negotiate something, you know? But we go into our next game, which is against Cheltenham. Naturally, this is in the Capital One Cup, hence the huge shake-up in the team. Dave Nugent starts, Hector Bellerin starts, who I didn't give enough credit to in yesterday's episode. I was listening to the commentary when I was making sure that the video was okay. His performance at left back was brilliant against Fulham, like, it really was. But in this game, I want to just take the opportunity to say I made a bid for Stefan Johansson at Celtic. They wanted 10 million. We've got 2.5 million or something like that left in the tank now, and deadline day is over, so there will be no more transfers. But I'm happy with the players that I brought in, and I'm happy to keep some money there for January, just in case we do manage to identify any more weaknesses in the team between now and then. And I think I've done pretty well in the market, in all honesty. I saw several shouts telling me to sign Jose Villarreal, and this is the only time I will ever say this. It's not going to happen this season. His potential is only 67, and he blocked me on Twitter, so he can go and make his own fucking career without my help. But here in the 80th minute, we advanced after taking the lead from a Jeffrey Schlupp goal. This was another counter-attack, and Cheltenham were throwing everything forward. The ball comes to Mackay Stephen, but it was a bad ball, and that's why he didn't get his shot off earlier, and when he does get it off, it's saved by the keeper. So a moment where we could have scored, but Chinaglia was on the pitch at this point, the striker on loan from Inter Milan, and Knockaert picks the ball up here on the right hand side of the pitch and plays it to Danny Drinkwater, who finds Gary Mackay-Steven, who plays it into Chinaglia, who shoots and smashes it off the crossbar, and then the ball seemed to take the keeper by surprise because he parried it out for a corner kick, and it was such a weird moment. But a 1-0 win with a weakened team in a cup that I don't really care about is pretty good. The only downside being that Berahino has picked up an injury and he's going to be out for 3 weeks. Like, can I ask you guys a question? What is your injury situation like? Is this just me, or do you guys get a load of injuries as well? Like, please leave a comment and let me know. We go into our next game. We're back in the Premier League for this game. We're playing against Stoke City away from home at the Stoke City, the Britannia it's called, the Britannia, I knew it. But this is how our team looks. We've gone for the 4-4-2 holding type formation, just because I think this allows me to, like, I understand the way that the AI plays now, and I know that when I'm at home I can use a 4-1-2-1-2 as long as I'm not playing a big team or a team that I think I'll struggle against. And away from home, it's good to have 2 players up front and 2 holding midfielders, so that's what I've done. And in the second minute, we did get a shot from Scott Sinclair, who did pretty well with the Ronaldo chop to cut inside. But from this moment on, it was all Stoke City. They were unbelievable going forward. They absolutely battered us last season with a 3-0 victory. Juve bagging a brace in that game as well. I remember it really well because I remember the anger I felt and everything along those lines. But Stoke coming forward, like, just relentless attacking and aggression as Bojan plays the ball into Arnautovic, who volleys it towards Kasper Schmeichel's goal. But thankfully the Danish keeper did manage to get down and save it. And just before half time, they came on the offensive again with Juve's header, this time going just wide. And 5 minutes later, they still weren't done as we enter stoppage time, with Juve picking the ball up and blasting it wide from fairly close distance as well, in all fairness. Like, that was kind of a weird miss for him. But again, in the 47th minute, Arnautovic's cross finds Juve, and this guy, man, he scored 2 against me before, but he couldn't hit a barn door in this game. He's playing so badly. But they did come through in the 57th minute, where Arnautovic smashing the ball off the post. We eventually managed to clear it, but only temporarily, because Arnautovic got another shot off, and a great reflex save from Kasper Schmeichel launched us into a counter-attack with Anthony Knockaert switching the play across to Wilfried Zaha. And you can see from the fact that there's 4 players trailing after him that switching the play was the right thing to do there. And Zaha uses his skill to get round shots in at right back and approaches the goal, and there, just then, you see Scott Sinclair pulling away from the goal as his defender runs towards the run, and Scott Sinclair heads it into the back of the net on the hour mark. And that is how you score goals on FIFA. That's how you score headers on this game. You do that every single time, you'll get a lot of chances in games. You know, it's just very, very difficult because chances like that are few and far between. And it's in FIFA, I find you have to work really hard for your breakthrough in this game. But the AI will just hit you. Like, you have to work really hard defending as well. Like, a simple lapse in concentration will ruin the game for you. But we got another shot off in the 95th minute just because we were counter-attacking and holding the ball on their side of the pitch, and the referee blew up. We got a 1-0 win away from home at Stoke, and I can't really understate this. That is one of the best wins I've ever had as manager. It was far better than the win we had against Chelsea last season at Stamford Bridge, because Stoke attacked us non-stop throughout that game, and but for some awful finishing, we would have been on the receiving end of a serious battering from them. But it didn't work out that way, and we got the lucky break. We played on the counter the way that I set out to play, and it like everything that I planned and put into my gameplay has culminated in that victory, and it just feels like a real turning point for the series, I think. Like, I don't know if I'm being over dramatic or whatever, but that just feels like a brilliant win for me, and I think from here it's going to be really interesting to see where I finish this season, I think, because I'm very excited for it. But yeah, that's the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like. That would be awesome. I've been El Dinero. Thanks for watching.